Our last video for our Chapter 7 practice test. Take a look at number 17. Very, very big difference with number 17. It's the only problem on this page where you're solving an equation and you don't see an obvious radical. You don't see a square root or a cube root or anything like that. There is, in fact, a radical in this problem, but there's a shortcut way to solve it. First, get x to a power alone. In this regard, we'll divide both sides by 4. We'll be left with x to the 3 halves is equal to 8. Now, what we've been doing to solve this problem is we would raise both sides to the reciprocal power of that exponent. The reciprocal of 3 over 2 becomes 2 over 3. Now, of course, powers to powers get multiplied. The 2 and this 2 would cancel. The 3 and this 3 would cancel just down to a 1. You just have x. Now what? Well, we can go back to our calculator here and figure out what 8 to the 2/3 actually is. We can do that pretty quickly. 8, raise that up, 2/3. You can see we get 4. So right now, we can really get into trouble if we don't do a check. And that's what has gotten many kids in the past on this section into trouble. To do a check means let's see if this works. If there is an answer to this problem, it's 4. But we are wondering something even far more complicated. Is there an answer at all? Hit 4, store that in for x. Hit enter. And now I'm going to type the left-hand side, 4x, raise it up to the 3 over 2 power. And again, what I'm trying to do is see if this works. If we are right, we should get 32. We are. You can see what I actually did here is I was just checking right here, retyping that 4x to the 3 halves. You could see it worked out to 32. Our answer worked. It's x equals 4. Last one for number 18. What you need to do for every single one of these problems is isolate your radical. Get that root alone. I'm going to divide both sides by a 3. And negative 27, when you divide it by 3, you'll get negative 9. Please remember there is a 2 here. This is the second root of x. To solve to get rid of a square root, you have to square. And that means you're squaring the right side also. Negative 9 in parentheses to the second power is going to get you 81. Okay, so here's what we definitely must do. We have to do a check. It's so tempting to just think that we can just skip out and call it a day here, but we can't. If there is an answer to this problem, it's going to be 81. But like I was saying earlier, the bigger question is there an answer at all? I hit 81, and I'm storing that in for x. I want to know if this left-hand side, 3 radical x, is going to work. If it does, I should get negative 27 when I hit enter. I get positive 27. That's not the same thing. There's no solution. So be very, very, very careful here. The check failed. And that's why checks are 100% necessary for these types of problems.